Singapore chose meritocracy. Thailand chose nationalism. China chose centralized control. Malaysia chose something far more dangerous. It chose to give economic preference to the ethnic majority in one of the most diverse societies in Asia. A decision that every political scientist in the 1970s predicted would end in collapse. Race riots, brain drain, economic stagnation, and yet, more than 60 years later, Malaysia is still standing, still growing, still functioning, while countries with similar ethnic tensions fractured under pressure. That shouldn't be possible. So what does Malaysia understand about coexistence that the rest of the world still doesn't? If you want deep breakdowns about Malaysia that mainstream media won't give you, subscribe right now. The impossible comparison. Let's start with the obvious comparison. Just south of Malaysia sits Singapore, one of the richest countries in the world. No affirmative action for the majority, no ethnic-based economic quotas, pure meritocracy, and it works. But here's what people don't talk about. Singapore is 75% ethnic Chinese. Malaysia is not. Malaysia is a true demographic triangle. Malays and Bumiputera, Chinese Malaysians, Indian Malaysians. Remove one and the economic engine changes. Favor one too heavily and the social fabric tears. Thailand, over 90% ethnically Thai. China, over 90% Han Chinese. It's easy to build a merit-based system when your society is relatively homogeneous. Malaysia never had that luxury. After the May 13th incident, the country stood at a crossroads. Copy Singapore's model. Risk deeper inequality and resentment. Do nothing. Risk more violence. So Malaysia made a gamble. Not a perfect system. Not a fair system. A stability-first system. And somehow, it held. But the real secret isn't the policy itself. It's the mechanism underneath it. The real mechanism. Here's where most analysts get it wrong. They focus on the policy. They debate quotas. They argue about fairness. They compare GDP growth rates. But Malaysia's stability was never just about affirmative action. It was about interdependence. After 1969, Malaysia didn't try to eliminate ethnic competition. It forced ethnic cooperation. Under the new economic policy, political dominance largely rested with the Malay majority. But economic networks, trade channels, and private enterprise were deeply intertwined with Chinese and Indian communities. No single group could fully operate without the others. Remove Chinese business networks, supply chain stall, remove Malay political control, social unrest risks rising. Remove Indian professional talent, entire sectors weaken. That balance created tension. Yes, but it also created necessity. And necessity is stronger than ideology. Look at countries like Lebanon. They also tried ethnic power sharing. But their factions built parallel systems. Separate schools, separate neighborhoods, separate militias. Interdependence never fully formed. Or Bosnia and Herzegovina after the war. A power-sharing agreement that froze politics instead of blending society. Malaysia didn't eliminate ethnic identity. It layered it on top of economic cooperation. Messy, imperfect, but functional. And that's the part many outsiders don't understand. This wasn't accidental harmony. It was structured friction that forced collaboration. But friction has a cost, and someone always pays it. To understand Malaysia's system, you have to see both sides of it. Meet a high-achieving Malaysian Indian student. Straight A's. Top of the class. Dreams of studying medicine locally. But public university spots are limited. And under the affirmative action structure tied to the new economic policy, priority is given to Bumiputera applicants. She doesn't get in. So her family makes a decision. They send her overseas. It costs them more. It takes her away from home. It feels unfair. Years later, she comes back as a qualified doctor. She treats Malay patients, Chinese patients, Indian patients. She contributes to the same country that once rejected her application. Now look at the other side. A rural Malay family whose grandparents lived through the trauma following the May 13th incident. For them, the policy isn't about privilege. It's about protection. It's about ensuring economic participation doesn't become ethnic dominance. Two realities, both valid, both uncomfortable. That's the trade-off Malaysia lives with every day. Stability with friction. Opportunity with compromise. And here's what makes it even more complicated. Despite the complaints, the system didn't destroy the economy. In fact, Malaysia ranks among Southeast Asia's stronger middle-income economies, attracting tourism, manufacturing, and foreign investment year after year. So the real question becomes, if the system is flawed, why hasn't it failed? Why other countries couldn't make this work? Now, here's where it gets uncomfortable. Because Malaysia isn't the only country that tried ethnic power sharing. Plenty have. Most failed. Take Iraq. After 2003, Iraq implemented a quota system dividing power between Shia, Sunni, and Kurdish groups. On paper, it looked balanced. In reality, it created corruption networks and political paralysis. Each group protected its own. National identity weakened. Violence followed, or look at Lebanon. Their confessional system guarantees leadership roles by religion. President, Prime Minister, Speaker, all pre-assigned. Instead of unity, it froze divisions into the constitution. Government stalls, public trust collapses, economic crisis deepens. So why didn't Malaysia spiral the same way? Because Malaysia didn't just divide political power, it blended economic dependence. Malay political dominance, Chinese commercial infrastructure, Indian professional specialization. Not separate silos, not parallel societies, but overlapping ones. And that overlap created something fragile but powerful. Mutual necessity. You can argue about fairness. You can criticize inefficiency. But you can't deny one thing. Malaysia didn't become Yugoslavia. It didn't fragment into sectarian war. It didn't freeze into total dysfunction. It adapted. But here's the twist. The very force that made it work may now be weakening. The modern threat. For decades, Malaysia's balance held because people lived close to one another. Shared neighborhoods, shared schools, shared late-night mamak stalls arguing about football over roti canai. But modern Malaysia looks different. Gated communities are rising. Urban wealth is separating by class, and often by race. Online spaces amplify outrage instead of understanding. Young Malaysians didn't live through 1969. They didn't smell the smoke. They didn't see the fear. They didn't grow up with the same urgency for stability at all costs. Instead, they see. Why is meritocracy not universal? Why are opportunities structured this way? Why is brain drain still happening? According to surveys from the Merdeka Center, a significant portion of Malaysian youth, including many Bumiputera, now favor reforming or rethinking the affirmative action system. That's new. That's generational. And it matters, because Malaysia's model only works when people accept the trade-off. The moment that social contract weakens, the entire balance shifts. And here's the uncomfortable question. What happens if Malaysia tries to fix the system too quickly? The dangerous future. Let's imagine something bold. Tomorrow morning, Malaysia announces all ethnic-based economic preferences are abolished. Full meritocracy begins immediately. At first, international headlines would celebrate. Investors might applaud. Commentators would call it reform. But inside Malaysia, the reaction wouldn't be simple. For many non-Bumiputera professionals, It would feel like long-awaited fairness. For many Bumiputera families, especially outside major cities, it could feel like the removal of a safety net that has existed for decades. And remember, policies aren't just economic tools, they are psychological anchors. After the May 13th incident, the new economic policy wasn't just about growth. It was about preventing another explosion. Remove it too fast, and you risk triggering insecurity. Keep it unchanged, and you risk long-term stagnation or resentment. That's the paradox. Malaysia isn't stuck because it doesn't know the flaws. It's cautious because it knows the stakes. And here's what makes this even more complex. Other countries that attempted rapid, systemic rewrites, like Bosnia and Herzegovina, found that constitutional engineering alone doesn't create trust. Trust takes time. And Malaysia's biggest asset has always been lived coexistence. But coexistence must be continuously maintained. It cannot run on autopilot. Which brings us to the final question. Is Malaysia's system a temporary bridge or a permanent model? Here's the truth few people admit. Malaysia works not because it has the perfect policy, not because economists can write equations that explain it, and not because politicians engineered a flawless system. It works because over centuries, Malays, Chinese, Indians, and other communities learned to rely on each other. Shared markets, shared neighborhoods, shared festivals, even accidental cultural exchanges became the invisible glue holding society together. But that glue is under pressure. Modern life is separating people. Digital echo chambers distort understanding. Segregated housing and rising inequality risk tearing the delicate web. So here's my question for you. If Malaysia rewrote the system today, would it unite the country or fracture it? Could other countries survive the same experiment? Or would they implode in months? If you want more deep insights about Malaysia that mainstream media won't tell you, hit subscribe now.